Hello Scorpio, Scorpio Rising and Scorpio Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting February 27th, 2017. And a quick reminder for you guys, remember, your monthly horoscopes for March are up. They are on the main channel page in their own special playlist if you want to check those out. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, in the beginning, we've got a wonderful angle showing up with Jupiter connecting to Mars between your 12th house of your past, your secrets, your private life, and your hidden zone. Jupiter's currently retrograde there, pulling out hidden treasures, little gifts and things like that, and lovely little opportunities and, again, just little Easter eggs that you wouldn't normally find, in your immediate space or in your immediate past. And it's going to be connecting to Mars, currently in your 6th house of reputation, your work, your routines. And you may be finding out that somebody that you work with on the regular, somebody you have not given much thought to, maybe it's a neighbor, a client, a customer, suddenly going out of their way for you. This is actually a very strong aspect that talks about backup. It talks about the cavalry coming in. And you may be finding a way to build a stronger relationship with somebody from your past, or somebody that maybe you just went to school with them, you never got to know them very well, maybe you used to work with them, but they're coming back into your life to be a huge help to you in some way, most likely in a way that relates to either finance or to your social life. And I would recommend keeping them around. Later on in the week, we've got Mercury forming a tight conjunction with Neptune in your 5th house of love, romance, and your relationships with your kids. Now, when Mercury and Neptune come together, it can be very, very confusing, because Mercury likes to be the articulate, straightforward, and detail-oriented planet it is, but Neptune is so much bigger and, so much more powerful, and Neptune doesn't really do details very well. It actually feels uncomfortable being grounded in that sense. It's great for that whole artistic, eccentric, genius, spiritual, epiphany type of stuff, but when it comes to details and articulation, it can kind of fall short. And when we have these planets come together, there could be some confusing messages circulating around a lover or with a child. A very mixed up, confusing conversation may need to simply be let go and let it play out as it is, because we might be getting a strange message. We might be feeling a partner is getting depressed, they're going through some interesting kind of, mood swings. There could also be an issue going on with a child who is getting more and more, I guess you could say, frustrated, or more and more unhappy because of their inability to effectively communicate and articulate what they're going through. Don't rush this process. Mercury will only be here for a short period. So, whatever happens, take it seriously, but don't try and solve it all in a moment. See what we can take care of next week. So what's going on with your cards? For your spiritual advice, we've got the card of the Cunning Woman. And I'm fairly certain we got this last week? Was it you who got this last week? I think we did. Because the Cunning Woman does talk a lot about, again, that letting things play out. The thing about the Cunning Woman I like in a lot of ways is that the Cunning Woman is willing to also put people on the spot and call people on their bluffs. And that's something that you need to be able to do this week. Okay? Call people on their bluffs. Some people, just talk a bunch of crap and spout off a bunch of stuff, again, because of some mood swing, they're feeling emotional, or I'm going through a lot right now. And, you can call them on their bluff. It's kind of like, look, you want to be able to not have a conflict escalate. And sometimes going in and just fighting head-to-head with a person who's in a really tough state is not ideal. We need to be able to, again, let these things play out, let these things calm down. And the Cunning Woman is all about knowing timing and understanding that precision is always going to be more powerful than force when it comes to problem solving. And so this week, we may be noticing, again, people still acting out, people getting a little cray, but it's important to, again, you can call them on their bluff, be like, alright, well, why do you think that? Get curious. That's what I do. When somebody wants to just throw like a weird cryptic comment or something at me, I go in and I try to figure out what's going on in that person's head. I'm like, well, why did you say it that way? Or what are you trying to get at? Like, what are you asking me? And if they completely fold, then the problem's solved there. And if they don't fold, well, guess what? We might actually be able to get to the bottom of it. But I do let it play out. You might want to try that too. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Lover's card, reversed. There may be some severances going on this week. Not in a way that hurts you, okay? But the severance that comes with the Lover's card reversed could indicate that you, Scorpio, could be getting fed up with a certain coworker, maybe a work friend, or a client or a customer, or even an interview process, and you may decide that it's time for you to see other options, entertain other options, or accept other offers. Some of you may actually be, say, interviewing for 2 different jobs at once, and one of them just completely blows it with you, and you end up going with the other one. Some of you may not be in a situation like that. You may be, kind of evaluating different places to go with your money, where to put money down, what to purchase. If you're making a major purchase, a car, a home, or something, we could be like on the verge of getting that all taken care of. And then something really blows it at the last minute. Luckily, the Lover's card reversed always talks about another alternative. So don't be afraid to pivot when it comes time to pivot. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we have the Two of Swords upright. This card is basically saying there could be some difficulties indeed dealing with friends and family members, because the Two of Swords can say that we are being put between a rock and a hard place in terms of taking sides when we want to take sides and when we won't take sides. And the Two of Swords upright is kind of saying, look, you're almost being put in the middle of 2 people who are just being a couple of drama queens. They're just kind of playing games. And what's weird is that they both want you to take sides, and it's almost like you just want to kick some ass. Like, it's almost like you just rather slap them both upside the head. And that's okay too. That's not necessarily a Two of Swords thing to do, but it is staying neutral, and that's all this card's telling you to do. But be careful this week with the Two of Swords upright, because you may feel like somebody's trying to play on your sympathies a bit much, or both sides are, because they're looking to gang up on the other one. And sometimes we just need to smack some sense into people so they can both be peaceful, and maybe see what fools they're being. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Nine of Cups upright. And with the Nine of Cups, there's really not much of an overarching challenge this week. Because the Nine of Cups does talk about getting what you want. Being able to accept what you are being given as a reward. In fact, the Nine of Cups upright is saying, if there is no overarching challenge, well, no news is good news. You may be getting exactly what you want or exactly what you asked for. It may be coming sooner or later than you wanted it to, but it is showing up. So don't do the I don't want it anymore thing. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the World card upright. Love is definitely very strong for you this week, and honestly, even if we've got some of that Venus retrograde energy, talked about that in the monthly horoscopes, or the Mercury, Neptune energy, the World card upright does talk about a big success or a big graduation in terms of love. Those of you who are currently dating or you're in a relationship, this can indicate a huge breakthrough, a huge success, a big evolution kind of moment when it comes to your love life. Whether it's moving on to the next era, or completing a long-term era, and finally getting some kind of freedom to spend time with our partner. In fact, with the World card upright, this could actually indicate some kind of big success, some kind of big turnaround for you and your sweetheart to enjoy together. For those of you who are single and looking, well, the World card upright can indicate somebody who's looking for the exact same type of relationship as you are. So you might want to keep your mind open with them. So that is your forecast, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.